This is the Risk Grandnovice Series where I, a Grandmaster, on the free-for-all ladder, share a lower ranked game. From this, hopefully more people will see the game of Risk and newer players can improve their play. Maybe we'll get to see something crazy. That's always fun. I think the settings we have here are gonna make that more likely. And what I want people to take from this is you don't have to be number one to have fun. So get out there, play some Risk. I'm encouraging you to play some Risk. You should encourage some other people to play some Risk, and we'll all be better for it. So I want to place my capital. Maybe let me look at these here. I'm going to place my capital kind of out of the way, because if you don't know, part of what I do here is try and remove myself from the game as quickly as possible and as fairly as possible, so we can see how other individuals at the lower level play the game and play it out without someone that plays at a higher level affecting that. Because right now, the settings, it's novice to intermediate. We couldn't fill a lobby up with just novices, couldn't fill a lobby up with just beginners. We've got novices to intermediates, and I'm very happy to be playing here. Couple things to note: this is capitals, so instead of completely wasting all of our troops in the very beginning, what we are going to be doing is probably leaving, I'm thinking maybe a 9 stack, an 8 stack. I'm thinking an 8 stack, and then the rest of the troops we get from there on will just be wasted intentionally. So it doesn't just gift the capital to whoever happens to be after me in the turn order, and it also doesn't make it so I am very impactful or alive in a bonus very long if someone decides they want to take me out. So another thing to note is inactivity behavior is neutral. So if red is not here, their bot's not going to do anything besides put a capital down and then stack on their territories. And another thing to note is 90 seconds. So newer players may struggle to make some decisions on what they should do, especially in a capitals game where they should go for. But it's not such a low of a turn timer that individuals can't. They're going to freak out and not be able to make decisions. So I actually think we're going to leave our capital on 7 troops. So to safely take it, it's going to need to be about 19, 20, 21 troops. I think that is a good way to give anyone who wants the opportunity to take this capital a chance to without risking too much in the game. Specifically on this map, this is a small map. This is a map where being friendly doesn't last very long. The addition of capitals is going to be interesting because it's going to make the game go a little longer, or just be way more word I should use is I want to say cataclysmic, but that's not the right word. But I think when things are gonna go, things are gonna go. And go ahead and remove ourselves here. There we go. So I think on this map, Orange doesn't know what's going on. Why would I do that? I think on this map, World Domination, it's going to be pretty obvious who's coming out ahead. In capitals, there's a little bit more of a safety mechanism that I'm going to enjoy, I think, seeing play out on this smaller map. So red's going to look towards getting out of the way of the purple player. The purple player is probably going to be wanting that bonus, but I think it's very unlikely with the white player having a capital right next to that bonus. So I think it is very unlikely. How much of an impact will bonuses even play in this? We're going to find out, because everything is so clogged up right now that I think it's going to be very hard for bonuses to be taken in the first couple turns safely. So If the pink player is fortunate, which they should be hitting this one and then moving their 3 into their capital, the pink player is fortunate, the purple player is going to move their 5 out on this upcoming turn, which will give the pink player the ability to get their bonus pretty early. And now it is a small bonus, but 2 troops extra every turn is 2 troops more than other individuals who aren't going to be getting any bonus, I'm guessing, anytime soon. We look at the white player right here when they look like they've placed their capital, will take this bonus, but there's a capital right here that's going to easily be able to break it. So I don't anticipate people playing too friendly this match, but we'll find out. They don't have to play too friendly this match, is what I should say. But the pink player looks like they have a very good location to be able to secure and guard their own bonus. I assume they're going to put a decent guard on their bonus instead of a threat stack. I just don't think it's worth losing that possible income. And when troop counts are so low right now, I don't think anyone's going to be taking the risk to break your continent right now, pink player. Let's see what the white player chooses to do. They've got a 5 and a 4 in the right of the map here, and that is a resource they may be looking to take advantage of. So they are going to put a 7 there. Let's see if they'll roll the 7 on 3. They could roll 2 7 on 3s and secure their bonus if they roll the 10 on 5, although not sure how smart of an idea that is. Instead, they're just going to move one of their external stacks to take a card in the bottom left, and in the bottom right, they're going to move their stack out of the way, their 3 stack out of the way of the purple player. So it looks like we might see some friendship coming through here. It's a very interesting dynamic because the white player does not have to let the purple player hold their bonus. The red player does not have to let the white player hold their bonus, and also the orange player does not have to let the purple player hold their bonus. It's an interesting dynamic of, it's not you and I working together, it's going to have to be multiple people working together. I think the purple player also doesn't have to let the orange player hold their bonus. It's just very interesting. Sorry, the purple player doesn't have to let the red player hold their bonus. So it's very interesting how we're going to see this come about, because right now nobody has to be friends with anybody else, and just one person ruining that is going to make the other person who is working with their other person more vulnerable. I want you to get strong beside me when the person on the other side of me won't let me get strong. That's a question they're all going to have to ask each other. We'll see if the orange player here, if they're going to move that 5 and the red player's bonus out of the way. It doesn't look like they are. Looks like they're just going to be gaining some ground on their bonus and hoping to take it pretty soon at the risk of sacrificing their 5 to the red player. I do think my capital is pretty out of the way. I think if I had started it here, it would very much clog up the map. But I put it pretty out of the way. It's actually a nice little spot. It feels nice to be over here in the corner, no one to bother you, and I have no complaints about that. I do not think positionally taking my capital would be a good idea, but for the troop income might be a very good idea. Let's see what ends up happening. Purple player hitting the red player, not sure why, but they are. See what comes to be from that. The purple player could have chosen to take their bonus and not risk being broken back by the red player, so I'm not sure why they've chosen to do what they've chosen to do. White player here may look to start securing more of their bonus, moving that far stack towards their area. But I do not think they'll make the move right now to secure this bonus, maybe wanting to have a stronger guard against the red player. as we look here, look at people potentially being eliminated, there's no one that should be too worried. I think the white player did as, no, the pink player did as I suggested, which was putting a nice guard on their territory for those 2 extra bonus troops per turn. I don't think they should worry about it being broken. I think possibly now that the red player is actually moving their 3 out of the orange player's bonus, the orange player should take their bonus this upcoming turn, which is going to be a +5. That is a huge W for the orange player if they're able to hold it, which I think they will be able to. We'll see if the pink player notices how big of a bonus that is and decides to do something about it. We have the orange player here removing the red player from that area and taking their bonus. See how they choose to guard. We are going to be having trades on 3 possibly coming up this next go around. So if the red player has a trade on 3, maybe a very dangerous position for the purple player who put some of their troops into the red player to deal with. Pink player may be realizing trades are soon, not wanting to deal with the possibility of someone sniping their capital, or maybe looking to snipe someone else's. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see where the orange player expands from their current position. They're in a very good position considering they were not broken by the pink player. Now the purple player is going to have to deal with, I have 2 8 stacks and 1 5 stack, none on the capital, and they're not going to leave any stack on the capital. What are they doing? This is up for grabs. Will the white player grab it? I think maybe they should, although they're going to be risking the red player coming and taking it. But if the red player gets that capital, they're going to have a very nice +3 of the central plaza plus 2 capitals. That's going to be great troop income. That's going to put them similar to the red player. No, similar to, it's going to put the red player similar to the orange player. Does the red player choose to take the purple player's capital? I would like to see the red player do this. And then split between the two, especially if they have a trade on 3. But at the same time, not having their own bonus, which they can't really get right now because the purple player is in the way, is going to be a bit of a problem. Reality is, if they don't take this bonus or take this capital from the purple player, I think someone else does. I think maybe the orange player does. I do not think it is a good idea to break the white player, but we'll see what the white player chooses to do. If they're broken, which they are not, just the orange player is going to get hit, and the red player is going to do... They're not going to be taking the capital, it looks like. I think this is a great opportunity for the orange player to move in and take that capital. It's going to be blocking off this choke point from the white player. We certainly don't want the white player getting this if we're the orange player. So see if the orange player chooses to do. How big was their trade-in? Their trade-in was a 10, so this is a great time to move and do something. It looks like they're actually just going to choose to break the white player. Very interesting. They're rolling ones on the white player. Choosing not to break the white player, but to just take a card. What are they going to do? They're going to move that 4 to their 12, just ensuring they don't get broken, or that at least if they are broken, it hurts them to the breaker to do so. Okay, does the pink player use this opportunity to take the capital? I'm not sure this is the right position for pink to be in, but let's see what they choose to do. They don't have a lot of moves anyway. I was the pink player, I'd take it, and I'll tell you why. Well, I'd be scared to, but I would take it. So right now, the pink player is holding a +2 for their bonus. You get a +2 for holding a second capital. So even if you give up your bonus to take this capital, you're still getting +2, and that +2 is more guaranteed from having 2 capitals because it's harder to take than it is to just break a bonus without the capital defender die bonus. So I think a good move for the pink player, but that is going to put them in an interesting situation where they are in the middle of other players. If the red player wants to get somewhere, they have to go through the pink player or the white player. The white player wants to get somewhere, they have to go through the pink player or the orange player or the red player, I suppose. Oh, wow. A hard hit on the white player. The purple player is... It's interesting that they've chosen to do that because, oh, are they going to break the pink player now? What will the purple player choose to do? The purple player will choose to break the pink player, although the pink player having their guaranteed income, not a big deal with that second capital that we just talked about. So the white player actually going next means no one will have an opportunity to take advantage of the weakness of the white player, especially if the white player has a trade on 3. Let's see if they do. It would also be very interesting if we saw the purple player go away from their keyboard now, AFK, and choose to stop playing and the neutral bot takes over. That would be very interesting because then we're going to have some stacks start to build up where people may be wanting to take bonuses or travel through. The orange player possibly lining up on me. We'll see what they choose to do with their 13 stack plus their bonus troops. Not enough, maybe. I think it would be enough to safely take my capital, but then to hold their bonus after that and my capital at the same time, not sure if that is a good idea. And somehow my 1 stack over here still surviving. I don't want to accidentally take a 1 from somewhere else. So we're going to roll ourselves down to 7. Oh, we accidentally rolled ourselves down to 8. Wasn't paying too close attention. And I accidentally, and the dice came out that I took 1 away from the orange player. Sorry, orange player. If it turns out that that's the reason why you don't win the game, that's on me. Should have known. The red player now possibly securing their bonus. After they do so, which way are they going to travel? The red player actually not securing their bonus, maybe because they don't have a trade on 4. They are securing their bonus even though they don't have a trade on 4, which is going to make them very vulnerable. We'll see if anyone chooses to do anything about that. The white player probably won't be able to capitalize on the potential weakness of the red player because they were hit so hard. Imagine if the red player or the white player had those troops that they lost to the purple player hitting their capital without success. The game would look so different right now, I think, for the white player. But that's not the world we live in. So a light guard that is still open. The purple player wanted to, they could try and break the red player, and the pink player could easily break the red player. Imagine if the white player, let's see what attack they took. The white player took, see, it was a 19 on 12, and they lost 8. The remaining troops 4. So imagine if there were 8 more troops for the white player. What could they be doing with that right now? Maybe hitting the orange player? See what the pink player chooses to do. So I actually am, while I'm not looking, rolled on a 21 on 8. The orange player losing 6. Myself losing 8. And the orange player looking like they're in a very good position right now, taking that roll. And now holding 2 bonuses. The pink player has nothing to say about it. Probably not wanting to risk their vulnerable position split between 2 capitals. So we are seeing some friendship here between the orange player and the pink player, although that can't last forever because this is such a small map. See what everybody chooses to do. The purple player choosing to do nothing. Not really a card for them to take, and they're not really in a very safe position here. They are choked off in the top center of the map. I think a large part of this game is going to be on what I think orange is a bit of, or red is a bit of a wild card. We haven't seen exactly what they're going to do. It's been a while taking their bonus. They eventually did take their bonus. Looks like I am removed, so we're going to be going to the spectator mode to watch the rest of the game. Congratulations to the white player removing me from the game. And I think if the white player and red player can work together, something has to be done to stop the orange player, who will have a +7 plus an extra capital, so 8, 9, and 10, 11 from their current capital, the 3 they get from just being. They only hold 11 territories, so we're going to see where they expand from here, but I think it's likely it's going to be expansion into the purple player to just not cause any more, or not cause any direct conflict. But the red player has nowhere to go, so it looks like we might be seeing some direct conflict picking on the pink player, which is kind of tough because the pink player can directly retaliate on the red player. The red player cannot really defend against this because of that second capital of the pink player. The pink player giving a little devil face saying, now I'm coming for you. The red player maybe not realizing that there is a pathway right here that is going to be easily broken. The only other player the red player could have hit without retaliation is the white player, but I think hitting the white player is going to be dooming both of them. They need to work together here. And the purple player now being removed, we're in a very, very intimate space right now between all the players. There's 4 people here, 6 capitals, and slowly shrinking all of their worlds. So the red player, the only person they can hit without fear of retaliation is the white player, and really the red player and the white player need each other. So the pink player looking like they're not going to retaliate on the red player, maybe realizing that orange is getting so strong, they're going to, they actually are going to retake their bonus, but they're not going to break the red player. Maybe realizing orange is getting very strong. What does the white player choose to do? They could choose, if they're going to work with the red player, they could choose to break the orange player, reinforce that area, and deny that second bonus from the orange player. See how they choose to do that. Maybe we'll see that 12 fortify over to that 3, daring the orange player to hit it. And that is not what we're going to see. We're going to see a reinforcement on the bonus of the white player, which I think is a great idea, because now the orange player cannot break that bonus, although they can retake their current one. And friendship is not going to last between the white player and the red player. I think this is a bad idea. The white player was the one who could stand up to the orange player, and now the white player has 2 battles to fight, and the orange player, playing nice with pink, is going to be able to expand. Now, the red player is probably pretty safe from the orange player, because the orange player is going to have to go through the white player or the pink player to get to the red player. I think maybe the red player should have sat back and been okay with just getting strong, or continue to fight with the pink player until they make a move. But this is just bad news, as it is going to be a heavy guard, I think, by the orange player, and now the white player is going to have to choose between, it's not going to be a guard at all, and the white player can have their cake and eat it too. They could, if they wanted to, choose to attack the orange player, break, and retake from the red player, although we'll see what the pink player chooses to do. They could try and secure another bonus and see if the white player lets them hold, which would be a nice bonus for the pink player. Ooh, I do not think hitting that 2 from the white player is going to be a way to make friends, and the pink player probably realizes it's going to let that 2 break orange, is my best guess. We'll see if that's what happens. Or is the white player just going to sit back and say, you know what, you deal with this, other players. I'm not dealing with orange now. The red player shows we cannot work together. And that seems to be the case. What does the red player choose to do? The red player can choose to not take a card, sit back, build up their borders, and see how it plays out. I really like the position the red player is in as far as flexibility to do things, especially being friendly with the pink player now, it seems, or at least not breaking the pink player. Oh my gosh, please don't do it, red. The red player is going to break the white player, so as far as long-term chances of the red player or the white player winning the game at this point, it does not look very likely, considering the orange player looks like they're going to be able to hold their bonus. This is just bad news all around. Unless you're the orange player. Good news for you. When we look at this, we see the orange player has 81 troops right now, places down 14. Looks like they're going to be hitting the white player and continuing to expand. At any point, will anyone be able to stand up to the orange player in a way that doesn't make them vulnerable to another one? I don't think that's true. I think the only way anything is going to happen here is through friendship, and the red player has shown the white player friendship's not going to work between them. And the only reason the red player is hitting the white player, I'd guess, is because they can no longer hit the pink player because the guards are too heavy. White player choosing to retake. Oh my gosh, the white player going fully into the red player, saying, you are ruining the game for all of us. We'll see what players are able to take advantage of this. Turn order says red's going to break, white back. But the orange player getting so strong, they might be able to take advantage of this fighting and secure themselves another capital. What does the orange player choose to do? Orange player, especially if they have a trade, this looks really, really bad for the red player, probably not even realizing the situation they're in. If you are imagining yourself in the red player's shoes, what you should have done probably is got strong quietly next to the white player, been prepared to work with the white player if you had to, because the white player was the only person who could stand up to the orange player. And in fact, the white player probably had a good chance if you had worked together. No trade for the orange player, but they look like they are going to be moving into the bottom right of the map. What are they choosing to do? I don't think they just put 22 troops into the white player here. That'd be very silly, wasting their advantage and putting them on the same amount of troop count with the pink player. The pink player actually now, force, is getting one less troop than the orange player in terms of bonuses. I think the orange player is coming out a little bit more ahead when we consider territory count, although right now white realizing, wow, if we had all worked together, we could be in a much different situation right now. The pink player finally betraying the orange player, saying, you've gotten too strong, and actually that puts them on about even amounts of troops. So there was a difference between them of about 10 troops, and now it looks very, very nice on the side of the pink player. But the white player could easily choose to break the pink player, and they do choose to do so. The white player clearly in this for the long-term game, doesn't dump any more troops into anybody else. They know they need to protect this capital. This is very good because the next go around with troop income, if pink player hadn't have hit the orange player could have chosen to take the red player's capital or even the white player's capital if they had a trade and it was large enough. Be an interesting turn of events if that that roll actually failed or didn't fail, but the pink player chose to roll that white player's capital, which I think they could have waited to choose to do, but I like this much more too, although the pink player should not be expecting to hold their bonus anymore. Pink player saying, I don't need to hold my bonus. I've got 3 capitals. I'll just make sure you don't hold yours. This has become a very dynamic game. Oh my, the orange player is saying, I am going to smack something and there's no way for you to beef up everything. What does the pink player choose to do? Pink player going to choose to break, I think, the bonus of the orange player, but that actually opens up the 25 to do a double tap on the pink player's central initial capital. I think this is very dangerous right now and a very, very sensitive situation. We'll see what the white player chooses to do, probably realizing they're not going to be able to hold their bonus anymore. The red player has shown that. Red player, a bit of a wild card here. Let's see what they choose to do. Are they going to interfere with red's plan or orange's plan? So it looks like it could be a double tap the 22 capital of the orange player, or it could just be to take that capital back in the bottom left, originally my capital. Red player taking their time. Probably know what they do now is going to determine to the other players in the game what they intend to do in the future. I do not see them hitting that 29. That would be wild. Okay, good. They do not hit that 29. And if they really cared about continuing to get cards, it's a bit odd to have attacked so much, but they have. Now, this is the orange player's time. What do they choose to do? Do they choose to take the capital in the bottom left? Do they choose to double tap with their 29 and 25 plus their trade? Orange player thinking very hard, using half of their 90-second turn timer. Oh, come on, orange player. You're in such an advantageous position. Oh, it's the 4 trade. Oh no, and they have at least not done anything in the last 60 seconds. So a neutral bot has taken over. That does not mean they're not here. Maybe this is a they're faking it. Maybe they're still here. Maybe they want to see what the other players are going to do with that. Although, bad news, I don't think the pink player is going to allow anything to happen very easily to them. I don't think they intend to put themselves in too vulnerable of a position right now. Taking a card, beefing up their capitals. The players here may or may not know what a neutral bot does. They may have not experienced this yet, but what it does is it just stacks it with the cards it has. It just places stacks around. You've got 5 troops, it'll disperse those 5 troops among your territories. You only got 1 territory, all 5 of them go on that one. So what it does is it creates these kind of blizzards on the map. If the stacks get big enough that no other individual really wants to go through because of the amount of troops they'd have to sacrifice to do so. Very interesting. The pink player is in a very good spot here to expand into orange. As we can see, really, we could have a choke point right here, and right here from the pink player with this 30 stack right here done in such a way that the pink player could secure all of this in time, could secure all of this, have a 3-point guard, and unless somebody hits that or the 3-point guard of the pink player, they're going to be able to hold a decent amount of bonuses. Plus this capital tucked way back here, which is going to be a forever 2-troop income towards probably towards the end of the game, unless the orange player comes back, which it does not let me see once I've been removed from the game. Orange player still not here. Pink player has an opportunity here to gain some momentum, really set the pace of the game and what they intend to do. They are in the lead. They currently have the most troop income, and they're in a position now to do something. What do they choose to do? I do like starting to clear out the orange stacks. So after 10 minutes of inactivity from the orange player, the bot will then surrender and the stacks won't be built up anymore. And the red player, as we know, loves getting cards, loves attacking at least one territory per turn. They're now in a situation where they have to attack the pink player for a card. Will they choose to do that? Or will the orange player go ahead and give them a card, which I think is a bad idea. I think if I'm the orange player right here, I attack. If I'm the white player right here, I attack the orange too, and just see what the red player does. Does the red player decide to attack with their 16 plus their troop income into the 17? I would like to see that. I think we could see the white player start getting the red player and the pink player to conflict, and actually leaving this 22 right here is going to force the red player to make a decision. Are they going to take a card or are they going to pass? We know the red player from the game so far, and they are going to. Are they really going to? Wow. They say, make sure I have a card. That is very important to me. For some reason, slow rolling the pink player 17, it's got to be 100% blitz roll. They should just take it. Wow. Now what are you going to do? So this is great for the white player. They should probably choose to stay away from the red player because the red player is going to hit them if they try and take that bonus. But I think a slow expansion from the white player until they're putting pressure elsewhere is a good idea. The red player just not very courteous, but I think it's what we needed to get this game going. Because now this is going to put pressure on the pink player. What are they going to choose to do? The plan of just slowly clearing out the orange player is not going to work because the red player is not very friendly, and the red player knowing that the pink player not going to be happy with that, probably going to break back. I think now this is an opportunity for the pink player to not break back and actually set up a card block on the red player. Let's see, the red player is going to be getting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 troop income per turn. Oh, what is the orange player's orange player back? That's a question. No, the orange player is not back, so it's going to be 8 troop income per turn, and the pink player just got 9. So they could create a stack right here that makes it so they do not have to worry about the red player coming through. But the pink player instead, maybe choosing to trade cards with the white player, making it so the red... Oh, no. This is not what's going to happen. Interesting. Well, that 3 is gone. Goodbye. From the red player. The pink player probably not making the most optimal moves right now. I'm not sure what that attack on the white player was. Maybe it's just to make sure the white player can trade cards because we know there's bad blood between the white player and the red player. But I'm not sure if it was the move. You know, the red player chooses to chooses to play this out. Red player actually fortifying a stack well outside of their bonus, maybe wanting to attack around, make sure they're guaranteed to still have cards. And as someone who is a fan of Capital's play, who's a fan of long-term games, you might look at this and say we're stalemating, and that's not true. So what's actually happening now, if we think of the long-term timeline, is that the orange player, if they stay gone, if they stay botted, will eventually surrender. And that is the next stage of the game as the other players start to get much, much more stronger than orange was at that point of surrender. So yeah, right now it seems like there's a bunch of floundering around, nothing's really progressing. That's because the next moment of progression is likely to be is likely on a timetable, which is 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, that's when we'll see more progression, because the orange player will no longer be stacking. So all the other players will be getting stronger than the orange player was when they left, plus 10 minutes of stacking troops. So I know a lot of players like really fast-paced games. A lot of players like when something happens, something that shows that progress is being made in the game. But being able to see subtly that next step that's going to happen, that next progression in the game, because removing a player isn't the only way to progress a game. So when you're playing Capitals, one of the ways to know you're progressing in the game is knowing you have more fixed troop income than another player. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is also how you progress the game. We're seeing the red player slow rolling the capital of the one of the capitals of the pink player. It's gonna be very interesting what happens here, and hitting it. Oh my gosh, maybe splitting between the two, but that 53 from the pink player is gonna be able to turn around and hit something. Is the pink player gonna choose to do that? I don't know. Wow, red player, definitely one of those players that wants the game to go faster, not putting up with the situation, actually leaving their capital empty. This is a great opportunity from the white player. If they can secure that capital, the game is going to look so much different for the white player, but the pink player is going to have first chance at getting it. So let's see what the pink player chooses to do. Okay, so we have that surrender here. So going back, this suddenly got very eventful when I was trying to make a very good point about capitals play. So when you're playing fixed capitals, a good way to know I'm progressing the game is when you have more troop income than the other players per turn. If you're getting even one per turn, and you can drag that out for, this is gonna sound silly, 8 hours, because it's capitals play, you'll likely never be able to overcome the other players. If you have multiple other players and they're getting more combined troop income than you, plus hitting a capital, they say you need 2.5%, or sorry, 2.5 times the amount that's on that capital. Really, you're never going to overcome the other players, but you are making it less likely that you lose when you're having that more troop income and it's going on your capitals in fixed. At least that's how I look at it. I think other players probably look at it differently right now, and this is amazing movement for the white player. We think about this, we think, okay, the white player now is going to have more troop income than the other players, and if this progresses over time, it's more likely that they win the game. And so this, in the long term, is a great move for the white player's chances to win the game. I think the pink player probably putting themselves at a bit of a disadvantage having two separate stacks instead of having one big stack on the 31. Imagine if they had a big 60 stack they could put into that 26. The game might look a little different, although still not great. So, red player definitely adding something to this game. Excitement. Okay, so the red player realizing we need that 30 out of here, actually willing to die for it. Well, willing to sacrifice everything for it, I should say, because eventually, there we go, the red player realizing, good game, the white player going to be able to slowly come through, actually surrendering to the red player, leaving 5 cards open, the pink player's chance to take advantage of that. Do they have the ability to remove their last 7? The last 7 troops and territories of the red player, doing so, giving them 4 cards and a trade and the advantage on going into the white player. This is going to be a very interesting 1v1. I probably put it advantage to the white player if the white player can deny the pink player bonuses, which I think the white player will be able to do. Now we are in a very interesting 1v1. Will the white player play it out correctly? They have been so patient. Pink player with the troop advantage. Pink player with the opportunity for momentum. But the pink player probably in, as far as map position, not a very good one. I do like this move, attacking now, getting through and breaking the bonus. This is going to be the time to act for the pink player. Good luck, says the white player, and I don't think the pink player needs luck. I think they've got this. They've got skill. What does the white player choose to do? Are they going to choose to try and snipe that capital in the bottom left there? I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but if they can... Oh, with the tin trade, that's very good. If they can break, actually... So I think they should take this capital. They should come through and take this capital. Because this is 2 troops of income, but this is also 2 troops of income. But one of them is a capital. We'll see what the white player chooses to do. I don't know about leaving this tin here, but I think the white player has the right idea, coming through and taking that capital. Please. So what they've been able to do is now they're able to break the income from the bonus and the income from the capital. Let's see how they split between the capitals, because right now they're opening this capital up to a triple hit right now. It could go boom, 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 and this tin comes through, but let's see what they choose to do and how they choose to do it. What the white player chooses to, or the pink player chooses to do with their trade. I do like leaving the lighter guard in the bottom left and the heavier guard in the center here, although I would call them both probably medium guards. See what they choose to do. Are they going to do the double hit, right? The triple hit right now. I think this is going to be very interesting. So no, they're going to block themselves off from the potential to do that, but they are going to hit the 29 on the 17 capital. It is going to work. The roll's going to work. So hopefully they split the 33 between the 2 capitals left. Do not open up that 28 right now. It looks like they might actually be putting the 9 right here. The white player not having a trade. Okay, so that 33 is going to be split, like I mentioned the first time, which I think is very good for the pink player here. They are now in a great position. What can the white player do? The white player can break the bonuses of the pink player, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to break the spirit. And the spirit right now, plus the troop income, is really what the pink player needs. White player giving up? Question mark? I don't think so, though. The white player did not get bullied by the red player to give up. Pull this back and be in a better position than they were before. Unfortunately, though, I do not think it will be enough. Let's see if they bring some off of that 28. They do not. So right now, it really is the pink player's game to choose what to do. They could set up the card block on the white player, considering they do not Oh, and the white player surrenders. Holy cow. I did not see that coming, realizing it was not likely they were going to win. And surrender and give it to the pink player. Doesn't even say a good game, doesn't say a GG, just surrenders. That came out of nowhere. Wow. And the white player in intermediate, I think their patience really displayed there. And it was very interesting to see how it all came about. The pink player coming from their little 2 bonus, coming back and getting that free capital from the purple player, really bringing it. Would have liked to see the orange player stay there in such a good position. We have a novice, beginner, novice, and intermediate. I'm so glad we got to watch this game and we got to see it together, and how it played out is very interesting. This is the Risk Grandnovice Series. I hope we took something from this. I hope we learned something about playing and we took some little tips, but most importantly, I want everyone to remember, you don't have to be number 1 to have fun. So get out there, play some Risk, have some fun, get your friends to play with you. The more people who are playing it and more people who are playing it to have fun is going to be better for all of us.